When I became number one, that was a great honour, but it was never my quest. I have to become number one. My quest was to achieve the goals I set for myself at the beginning of the year. In '67, I won the US and Wimbledon. That got me named at the end of the year as the number one player. It felt pretty good, but I also knew, and the reality was that there were some pretty good players like Rod Laver and Ken Rosewall and a bunch of others who were professional. So I was the number one amateur, but I certainly wasn't the number one player in the world. We played a professional tournament at the Longwood Cricket Club in Boston. I had to play Pancho Gonzalez in the first round, and I hadn't met Pancho before. I'd heard a lot of stories about him, and I beat him 6-4, 6-4, and I was a bit nervous about going into the dressing room because I heard how he would tear the dressing room up when he lost. And then I noticed during the week that every time Rosewall or Laver were playing, he was sitting in the stands watching. I would go and sit beside him, and we became very good friends. And I learnt so much from Pancho because he had a great ego, so he was always willing to pass on advice about watching these matches. Anyway, in that tournament, I finished up getting to the final and lost to Rod. I knew I was there, in amongst the best. But of course, Rod was the best at that time. When I turned pro in '67, I did it on the understanding I was never going to play, Wimbledon or the tournaments again, or Davis Cup. And then in March of '68, Open tennis became a reality, and all of a sudden I was back in, being able to play all those tournaments. And also it was, pretty good to be able to make some money out of the game. In '73, after we boycotted Wimbledon, I was actually ready to retire from the game. And I went back to a tennis ranch in Texas, and my wife said, "You better think about it for a couple of days." I hadn't played much that year, so my ranking had gone way down. And I said, well, if I'm going to play, I'm going to have to be serious. I'll play for 9 months and then I'll retire. I was seeded 10 at the US Open, and I won that, and then I won most of the tournaments I played leading up to the WCT finals in Dallas, and I won that, and it was after that I became number one. Obviously, when I became number one, that was a great honour, but it was never my quest. I have to become number one. My quest was to achieve the goals I set for myself at the beginning of the year. It's a great honour to have been named the number one player in the world. Not many people can say that, so I'm very, very privileged.